Better. Two dudes watch cartoons. Two dudes watch cartoons. Yeah.
Welcome back to Two Dudes Watch Cartoons, the podcast where two dudes, that's us, watch cartoons. My name is Evan.
And my name is Alex, and today we got something really exciting for you. I don't even know how I would describe this. This is a throwback, but also brand new. It's really unique. It is on Netflix. Netflix always makes that good content, not paid. But it is called Bee and Puppycat. And we're gonna get into it all. There's a history lesson here. There's some fun tidbits, some fun facts, if you will, that come along with this. But Evan, you know what? Why don't we start at the beginning? What better place to start than
Sure.
at the beginning? Evan, fill us in. Why is this so special?
This was one of the first cartoons that Alex and I bonded over, probably more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They were both put out by Frederator Studios
Mhm.
as like web series. Bee and Puppycat was one of them. And I always forget the other one. I know you have it.
Bravest Warriors.
Bravest Warriors, which is Pendleton Ward from Adventure Time, sort of his other brainchild after he stops working on Adventure Time itself. Bee and Puppycat is by Natasha Allegri. Originally, it was just a two-part pilot uploaded to Frederator's YouTube, and then they did like a crowdfunding campaign, and it raised close to $1 million to sort of
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And so I think they did maybe 5-10 episodes of like the web series.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes that were created in 2016 that were released on YouTube. But Evan, before you gloss over it, this was let me set the scene for the listeners here. Me and Evan are in college. We're grown men at this point. Kind of. We're basically we are home for Thanksgiving break. My family is out of town. None of them are listening, so this won't even matter. And we are getting stoned in my bathroom. We've shoved like towels underneath all the doors. We have the window cracked, and we have my laptop and two just jank ass chairs in my bathroom, and we are just mind blown watching these YouTube cartoons. And what I want to say is we were so just taken aback by the effort, the time, and just like the thought these people put into like a YouTube or like a series that was not on TV. Like to me, I couldn't comprehend that someone would put so much money, time, effort into something that wouldn't have ended up on TV. Obviously, now I'm wrong with all the digital media platforms that are out there. But this was like mind blowing to me and Evan. It was funny, we're laughing, we're dying. The animation is beautiful, it's stunning. I don't want to be dramatic here, but this is where Two Dudes Watch Cartoons started. This is where it all goes back to.
Very much so. So the first episode or pilot was released in 2013. I also think that was right around when Rick and Morty came out.
Oh, it is?
Because we watched that, and then I was like, I saw this really wacky adult swim show called Rick and Morty, and we are in the throes of our Dan Harmon.
I was going to say, we had a Dan Harmon hard on, if you will. We were obsessed with him in Community. And so when Rick and Morty came out, and I'm going to say it, I actually really like this new season of Rick and Morty, while it has its faults. This new season's been good. It to me, jump-started the adult animation era, if you will.
I would say
maybe jumpstart's not
interest in.
That's a better,
because it was like it turned that category on its head. Because prior to that, it's like Simpsons or like Family Guy. We had Family Guy. We had
Futurama,
American Dad. I feel like everything was by Seth MacFarlane at some point in like adult animation.
You ever watch American Dad?
Occasionally.
I'm gonna call. I hope this. Dan Somerville used to love American Dad, so when I lived with him, I've watched like a decent amount of it. It is literally just a Family Guy knockoff, like beat for beat. It's so I just just stick it in your lane. I feel like okay, we're getting off track here. So,
but yeah, the series creator Natasha Allegri, I think she had done some work on Adventure Time for Pendleton Ward, and they were sort of friends as well. I don't remember exactly where I read it, but it was like an interview or something. I think he had just sort of maybe connected with her online, was a fan of her like web comics, and brought her in to work on Adventure Time, and then eventually that sort of blossomed into this. Um, a quick plug for Bravest Warriors. Imagine Adventure Time, but a little more edgy, I guess. It's
Yeah.
not as strictly geared for children. Not to say that it's raunchy or anything. It just felt, I don't know.
It's
edgy
really
is maybe
trippy,
the most
if I'm
accurate.
being
Yeah.
honest. If
The
you're
first
not,
episode.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
really,
also,
really trippy. It's like, that's all I'll say is like, be warned. You're not ready for what you're about to watch. And they kept going, Evan. You and I like stopped after, I think there was like 2 seasons.
mhm.
They did a season 3 and a 4 that eventually got on like some sort of app. So they,
I think it was Verve, which I'm
I
looking
think
at
you're
the
right.
production.
Yeah.
Once it's hard to access, I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go to those lengths to watch it. I'm
Yeah, but that's
sorry,
how I knew they
Pendleton.
made it. I was like, damn, I gotta
Yeah.
pay to watch it now. They made it.
So they did the Kickstarter, and Being Puppycat was supposed to do like a full-length season on Verve.
Ooh.
So this series has been in production since like 2017. Originally was supposed to release around like 2019. So they've been,
Wow.
imagine how frustrating that would be as a creator. But Verve was under the AT&T umbrella. This was pre HBO Max, and then AT&T was obviously more focused on HBO Max than Verve. Verve eventually shut down, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's like 3 years. 3 years sooner we could have seen this
In
potentially.
purgatory. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and then it eventually made it on Netflix. Like I said, shout
Thank
out
God.
to my homie Netflix. They know what to pick up.
So I think the best way to describe the Netflix series, which is called Being Puppycat Lazy in Space, I think that's how
Beautiful.
that is the colon subtitle, but that's also the way to delineate it from the original web series.
If I
And yeah, it's like
recall,
a soft reboot.
I did not
Yeah.
watch the original web series to refresh for this podcast. Maybe we should have. If I recall, the plot is fairly similar, but the misadventures maybe are different.
Yeah, I think in the first few episodes they're almost a 1-to-1, but they
okay.
add in more because they're longer episodes as
Yeah.
well. These are 22-minute
Well,
episodes.
those last ones were 25.
My bad.
Yeah.
I think you could describe this as in the realm of like a magical girl transformation show like Sailor Moon or like
Yeah.
Cardcaptor Sakura. I think that's the genre name, but it's also very much slice of life.
I knew you were getting to it. It is so slice of life. It's so, I mean, I'm not kidding. You could watch this show while doing anything, and it just puts you in it took me a while to watch because like I knew it would put me in a good mood. Like I wanted to save it. It's so calming and relaxing.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the
go
music
ahead.
as well.
Yeah.
I would put it on, and Haley calls it the sleepy show just because it's like lo-fi beats in the background. And and it is. I would like fall asleep sometimes. It's such a cozy show.
It is visual weed. It is beautifully, the colors are beautifully drawn. It's not like bright and like poppy, but it's like a pastel. And like Evan said, the music is so good. The way Puppycat talks is also kind of weirdly soothing. I don't know how, because it's like total gibberish. Yeah, the Sleepy Time show. Great.
So Puppycat is voiced by it's called a Vocaloid program called Oliver.
Wait.
What?
It's a robot? What are you saying to me right now? Is there a voice actor credited, or is it just this code you're telling me is credited?
No, I think it's like a plugin that gets laid over any.
Don't play with me here. That's like a huge shakeup to the voice acting game. If you're telling me this is AI or just even if it's just sounds like.
Okay, let's see. Oliver is an English male vocal based on the voice of a 13-year-old child. He was the first English vocal released for the new Vocaloid 3 engine and the first English based on a child's voice. Designed as a choir singer, released December 21st, 2011. Large amount of popularity owed mostly to its usage in Being Puppycat.
Are you shitting me?
That's crazy.
Are you shitting me? Wow, I gotta really take this in. I didn't even know it. Is it an AI, you think, or is it someone like pressing buttons like a soundboard almost? Either way, I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know. It's like a musical instrument, so maybe they play it like, I don't know.
Not to bring up the controversial, but when Kanye was at the shows and he'd be, and I was like, dude, are you actually doing anything? I don't know. I was skeptical even back then, I'll be honest.
The Space Outlaw, though, is voiced by Steve Blum, Toonami Tom,
Yeah.
Spike from Cowboy Bebop, and
Toonami Tom.
it's a legend
always
in
love
his
that
own
name.
right.
Okay. There's so many. We can do a whole thing on voices. There's a ton of great voice actors in this. But the voice acting is another strength of the show. The show is going to be kind of hard to talk about, like plot points and like beat by beat. We'll talk about like funny things that happen, but like it's vibes. Like Haley said last week, it's all vibes. But it's like, oh, I want to inject it into my veins.
Immaculate vibes.
Yeah.
Though. Like, not in a bad way.
No. It's all good. And it reminds me of an Adventure Time where they sprinkle like the lightest bit of story into like 20 episodes. You know what I mean?
So what it reminds me of is season 1 of Steven Universe, where they're just bopping around the little beach town and
the vibes.
And like they have light elements of this larger lore.
Yeah.
But I kind of do like that they really don't go into that whatsoever. They introduce it real quick and bring it back at the end.
Bring it back.
Give you a little bit of resolution.
Hell yes, it was perfect. What do you think? So, okay, let's just get into it. Okay, I'm curious. So we'll go through voices as they come up. But so you have Puppycat, who, as we've mentioned, is also a space prince?
A space outlaw.
Space outlaw, excuse me. Space outlaw. And I'm going to sound like I'm making this up. I promise I'm not. Okay. He's like a space outlaw, and he got caught by the warlocks that turned him into this Puppycat form. And now he's on Earth trying to get back at them. And those are those long, black, oogly hands that are always,
I think he's just laying low, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he's still on
He's
the
on the
lam.
lam. He's just totally on the lam the whole time.
So he was like a humanoid, and he gets turned into Puppycat.
He was a space prince, an outlaw, excuse me.
And it's a very accurate description because you can't really tell if it's a puppy or a cat, and they never tell you.
That's
one
what
way
the
or
initial
other.
draw. I'm just gonna say, back in 2013 when we first watched this, I'm not gonna lie, that was the whole draw for me to the show. I was like, oh, it's like a puppy and a cat. Like, and it turns out it's neither. It's a human who's been turned into a puppy cat.
What was the Bravest Warriors when it was like a ladybug cat or something? That was like
it was
the cute mascot for
Catbug. Yeah, and it was like a little child's voice that would play it. Oh, you're right. Puppycat and Catbug were, and they would have little animations of them like running and dancing sometimes. It was like a cool era in the YouTube world. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I was looking at the production notes earlier. So, this season was delayed, but somehow it got leaked on Fred Siebert of Fred Raider Studio on his Vimeo account, later taken down, got pirated, I assume. And he had to step down as CEO of the company. That's like
Fred himself?
Yeah, named after him. Yes.
Like, wow.
Fred Raider Studio.
That's what you get for wronging being Puppycat.
Hey, that's like Ryan Reynolds leaking the initial Deadpool test footage. I mean, we don't know that it was Ryan Reynolds.
You're right.
And now that's one of the biggest franchises. That's insane.
Look at that.
Movie almost didn't happen.
That is wild.
So basic plot description is it's about a 20-something girl bee.
How dare you?
She gets
not a girl,
an android.
Robot?
Okay, that's also like a bit of a plot.
Sorry. Spoilers! It comes up kind of early on when she loses her arm.
She gets fired from her job, and then she has to pick up temp jobs at an intergalactic...
At the Cat Cafe.
Temp agency. Yeah, that was her first job. And one thing I liked about episode 1 is they just throw you right into the cat cafe. They don't really introduce you to anyone. There's no like a beginning exposition. It's just like
there's a huge family of people who are related to each other, and you literally can't piece it together basically till the end almost. It's really wild. And they own the cat cafe, and she lives above them. Bee lives above the whole family, and they own the cat cafe, and they're on an island together. And when she gets fired, Puppycat, she finds Puppycat as she gets fired, takes him home, and they start doing these intergalactic temp jobs together where they make money, which I have to say, I think a big reason this TV show reminds me of the game Animal Crossing is 1, the vibes, and 2, the plot is basically, make money so you can live in everyday society. And I have to say, I love a plot that is literally just like, we got to make money. It resonates with me. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. The grind, the hustle.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, there's no ramp up to that. First couple minutes, you're in a cat cafe, and next you're in front of a giant computer being beamed across the universe. And then the first one is like a babysitting job.
Yep.
Episode 1 is a little deceiving in that it's like a little more action packed and like lore heavy.
I was like, I don't remember this being so action packed.
14 episodes. It's a good hook though. And I really like that. Yeah. They slay a spider monster. Puppycat shoots a laser out of his mouth. Doesn't
come back again till the end. The laser.
The temp jobs are where like the transformations come in, different costumes.
Very Sailor Moon. I'm glad you said that because she changes outfits every episode, and she always looks good every outfit they give her.
Yep. A little bit like Midnight Gospel, where every episode they're going to a different world.
Good comparison.
And doing something else. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, see, I knew we were going to get to this point. It is hard. We're not going to be able to like go through it beat by beat. And like, so what we'll do is we'll finish wrapping up the plot here. So as I spoiled so unceremoniously, we find out that Bee is a robot.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of other people on the island. There is, what is the family's last name? Oh,
Wizard.
Their last name's the Wizard? The Wizard family?
Yes.
Okay. That's news to me also. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Okay, no. We're skipping the Wizard family for a moment. We're going to bring up my favorite character.
Okay.
Do you know who it is?
No, I don't. Cass? No, not Cass. Her
Cass is
rival.
good guess. That's a good guess, too. That's very much up there. Cardamon. It's Cardamon. Yeah, Cardamon's my favorite. Once again, Cardamon's a child who is their landlord. And as the series progresses, he goes through the biggest existential crisis, and it ends with him like a single. He's like, I don't want to be a landlord anymore. I loved every bit of Cardamon and Sticky that we got. To me, I could watch a whole show about Cardamon and Sticky and their adventures of being a landlord. They had to fix so many of Bee's problems because Bee and Puppycat, as weird, wacky space adventure friends, they're always ruining their apartment. They always keep food in their toilet. How many times was Bee like, oh, there's a bunch of food in the toilet?
Yeah, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together with her being a robot and her not eating in that first episode.
She doesn't eat.
Yeah, and they don't really explain it.
They don't address it.
There's no explanation for it, and then you go, oh, it's because she's a robot that she keeps food in the toilet. I forget what episode it is, but Cardamon is like in class with a bunch of first graders, and he like smacks a toy out of a girl's hand, and it's like, that's stupid, blah blah blah. Has to write his apology to the teacher, and he like throws it over his shoulder. He's like, I don't have time for this. I'm a landlord.
I'm a landlord. The whole thing with Cardamon is great. He gets this dog very early on, Sticky. And Sticky is the cutest. Sticky just licks everyone that he comes up to. And Cardamon and him have such a great relationship, though, him and Sticky. And so I love it because he's really the one cleaning up everyone's messes. He has to deal with like all the problems and the backlash. And a subplot throughout the whole thing is his mom is in some sort of coma, ? You're like, what's going on here with his mother?
And she sheds magical tears.
Well, that's only after where there's a whole plot point where B goes and makes donuts, like magic donuts with Molly in space, and she brings back a bunch of these donuts that have wish crystals in them. And so the mother eats part of the donut wish crystal, and Cardamom eats part of it, and Sticky eats part of it, and they all then start projecting these like part or half wishes. And the mom is crying all these magical wish tears. It's a big plot point throughout the whole thing because there's more and more.
Doesn't Deckard? So Deckard is her friend who we also meet in the Cat Cafe, who is a talented cook but not a baker. So he has to go to culinary school. But doesn't Deckard get like a shard in the back of his head?
Oh, that's what that little. Yeah, you're
and
right.
Then he gets
yes.
a Band-Aid on it for the rest of the season, and that's one of those things. Like, I love that they plant that seed, but like I would have loved to see that go somewhere. I hope they keep making.
I hope
the show.
they can. I can't imagine they wouldn't continue the series though. So, yeah, and so these wish crystals and her wish tears that the mother in the coma is producing cause all sort of supernatural things that the island just like slowly starts to accept. Like, it's so funny to me. It's really nice. They live on an island, and so then Cardamom's their landlord, and B lives on the top floor. And now we can get into the wizard family. There's too many of them to count.
Yes.
But Cass is the mother. Cass holds them all together. Deckard was one of the sons, who's B's best friend? Question mark. All of her relationships are with the wizard family.
Interest?
But didn't she go on a bunch of dates with one of his brothers?
She has a past with one of the other brothers. Yeah. So I mean, maybe there doesn't have to be a love connection there, but I feel like she was flustered by him in episode 1, and I feel like she's got a little bit of a crush on him. I could be reading into that.
They're definitely the closest of her and the wizard.
Friends.
Yeah. And so
okay. Wikipedia clarifies it for us. He harbors romantic feelings towards B.
Whoa. Whoa. That makes sense though. I see that. And so Cass is the mother. She is and then there's also Crispin.
Cass is a sister.
Real? Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense. I missed that. Thought Cass was the mom. She acts very mom-like. She's always like stressed out like a mom. That makes a lot more sense though for the plot point of her friend / rival becomes one of. I thought it was one of her sons.
What is that character's name? Toast is her name.
Toast? Oh yeah. Toast. So Toast is the 11th ranked wrestler from Cass's former wrestling team, and she is just always looking to fight, like constantly. She bursts through walls like the Kool-Aid Man.
The way they frame it, so she has like a one-sided rivalry with Cass because Cass was the worst wrestler in her league, and Toast is the second worst. So she quit doing that to do coding or whatever, and now Toast is like dead set on plaguing her life and making it as miserable as possible so that she can get back into wrestling, so she can be bumped back up to second to last.
Yeah. It's good. It's just I don't blame her.
It's just a funny dynamic, and maybe I'm explaining it terribly, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like the little dynamics that are built into this show are very, very funny.
And so Toast and one of the wizard brothers, I believe his name's Merlin, like the wizard, which is that's what kind of threw me off.
So which one is that? He's
Merlin,
the doctor?
Yeah, he's the oldest. He's the doctor, and he accidentally gets Toast pregnant. And there's a whole episode where Cass is like, "Which one have you got Toast pregnant?" But then it's cute though, because I don't know, they clearly actually are in love, and Toast ends up like living there with all of them.
Yeah. One of the other wizards, Howell, who is the Cat Cafe manager, so B's former boss, is voiced by Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, I spotted that one right away.
Yeah, I didn't honestly for episode 1. I didn't pick up on
it right away. I could tell right away. Yeah, so he owns the Cat Cafe, and he's kind of they all have characteristics. How would you characterize
snooty? I would say for Howell.
Snooty, good. Yeah. I like that. I like that. He is snooty. No. I'm totally into that. He's a bit more snooty, a bit uppity, if you will. He owns the Cat Cafe. He's so busy all the time.
Doesn't he want to be an artist, I think? Something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
yeah. They all have dreams and aspirations. This show's so good. Think of how many characters we're about to have to go over, and we know so much about them just from like 30-second snippets in these
Uh-huh.
shows.
Wesley is the second oldest, avid fisherman,
He was
also
the one that was
effortlessly
looking.
cool all
Yeah,
the time, which Puppy gets very
yeah, he is. He
jealous
speaks
from.
like one of the least. Well, him and Merlin. So like Wesley speaks cool. I don't know Merlin speaks like very much at all. He may speak like a couple times, but so Wesley one episode is looking for a fish, and that was like such a funny punchline when he gets this fish who ate a bit of wish crystal, and so the fish comes on land and is being a human and doing this, and then the fish like gets back in the water and was like, "Thanks for showing me what the surface was like. If that's what it's like, I'm glad I'm a fish. That was a terrible date." And the show just ends with him going, "Wait, that was a date?" And it's just like the show always ends on such a great like note or punchline, and that was one of the ones I noted was one of my favorites.
Hmm. There's the brother who she has a dating past with, who is a
Crispin.
mechanic who is obsessed with clowns as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so confused. She was like, "Oh, Crispin would love it here."
Yeah.
And he did. And then she was so right. He was like, you just took me here because you knew I'd love it." It's like, whoa. It is something in Dan Harmon's writing that I noticed one time. I love when they just like through verbal dialogue, like establish how well characters know each other. And you're just like, oh, like that's a funny surprise. He's just like, you knew I'd love it here.
Before the episode where they explore their past together, he like comes to pick up her bike and fix it up when she has to ditch it on the side of the road, and he calls her and he's like, "Oh, it's all done. I made some tune-ups or something." And this is before you know about the clown obsession, and she goes, "Oh no, I hope you didn't go too crazy with it." And it's got like all like a new clown nose on it. It's oh God.
It is tiny
Yeah.
bits like that. You will find yourself like in stitches laughing.
Mhm. I gotta watch the show again. I've already watched
Well,
it
that's
twice.
the great thing is I really feel like the jokes fly at you sometimes under the radar or so fast that like this is a great show to just have on. Like if you're looking, like there are some people like myself, sometimes when you're
Mhm.
just doing things, you need the TV on. This is a great show for that. Even if you've watched it once, you could throw it on again. The vibes, mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah. And they're not
Like,
like punchline jokes like you
No,
would
no, no,
think
no, no,
of
there's
in Rick and Morty or something. Or it's
No.
like the vibes and the
Blink
relationships.
and you'll miss it jokes.
It is a sitcom, an anime sitcom, if you will.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I kind of like that. It does feel anime-ish. I know it's not by definition.
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
it's very
it's been a
heavily
while.
influenced.
What? My brother Brendan asked me this just yesterday.
Mhm.
It's been a while since we talked about this, and I'm sure we discussed it when we first started podcasting. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It would do anime or not?
I would say no. I think
You would say
I'm
no.
pretty sure the distinction is just whether it's made in Japan or not.
That's what I was thinking too. I got technical on his ass, and he was like, "Yeah, but what about?" And I was like, "Yeah, I hate to be that guy though." But
Yeah.
it's got an anime feel. Just because it's not anime does not mean we can't, put it in a similar category. And you know what? I've said that about Steven Universe. I said not the animation style, but some of the like storyline and plot devices feel anime-ish, if you will.
According to the Wikipedia entry for anime, it's animation originating from Japan, or specifically
Sticklers.
produced in Japan.
We'll be
So,
sticklers.
yeah, we should, stay faithful. This is very heavily anime inspired. I think
I would agree. Yeah. Mhm.
you can definitely see and maybe the humor is maybe not anime-ish, but like the visual style is, and it's beautiful. I follow Natasha Allegri on like Twitter and Instagram, and she'll post sketches, concept artwork from the show, and it's always. I think I might still have a Puppycat background on my phone right now.
Oh, it's just so nice. It's so
Mhm.
you sent me that Puppycat background you did recently. It was really cool.
Mhm.
And then I would feel, we're missing a bunch of people, but there's also Pretty Patrick who
A TV star / mayor of the town? Is that accurate? I don't
he's
know.
mayor of the island, but he's also the host of their favorite TV show that they watch.
what's Pretty Patrick Lunchtime or something like that?
And yeah, and there's one episode where Puppycat gets addicted to a mobile game and ends up spending so much money. And I was
That
like,
they have to
oh,
go work.
so relatable, dude.
So
I was like,
real.
oh my God, we've all been there before where we're like, why did you spend that money on that app game that I don't play anymore? And but the best part is like he's going ham. Puppycat is going ham with the purchases.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to go like through this plot linearly. But what would you say is your favorite like adventure or world that they go to? Or
Yeah.
maybe episode.
I
got a top one?
really enjoyed you're gonna make me quiz me here. Hold on, let me pull up my notes because I definitely oh, you know what? So I do love this is not like a mythical place they go, but I love the cat cafe as just like an idea. Like people just go here and there's like a dude at the end and he's like, I'm just here to get away from my dogs. Like it's just like I know that's not the answer. You were looking for like
Yeah,
one of their
it
temp
doesn't
job
have-
worlds.
No,
But
okay. What's your favorite setting? We can leave it at that because
I love the kitten cafe. I loved any time we got to go there.
my favorite is actually not one of the worlds. It's the arcade, and there's like a little bit of history that you don't get a full backstory on. But I forget if it's like episode 2. There's just like this really beautifully animated sequence where her and Puppycat are like dancing in the arcade and like the old machines are lit up. I think it might even be while like the credits are rolling, literally not even part of the story. But
No, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
So there a lot of places they go. What do you have a favorite character? Who's your favorite character?
That's like not be her Puppycat.
Hit me with what you got. I didn't take them off the table. You did.
Okay. Puppycat's such an easy answer, but I'll try to.
Puppycat's got the one-liners.
Puppycat does have the one-liners. Cardamon's also good. I like Decker.
Cardamom is sticky. Oh yeah.
He's like in the first 2 episodes. Then he goes to culinary school, disappears.
So. But this is what is part of what's nice about the writing is it's realistic in that way, I guess. But it is very weird that he's like so heavily involved in the first 2, maybe 3 episodes, and then he's got that great line, and we did a reel about it where he's talking with his mom, and she's like, "Oh, so you're gonna go to culinary school?" And he goes, "No, I'm gonna give up on my dreams like you did." And she goes, "Oh, sounds good." Like it's some of the dialogue is like really laugh out loud hilarious.
Who's yours?
Cardamom is probably my favorite. But then, so you said like Puppycat, but like if we're going main character, I think my favorite would be B. I love B because
B is great. Yeah.
B is like always in the balance of wanting to live like a fun, whimsical life, but just having like, bills, repairs. I need to buy Puppycat food. There's a whole episode where Puppycat's just eating old food off the floor, and it's like you just need to buy and he's sick, and it's like you just gotta buy food and not store it in the toilet. Like like she's just gotta figure out like the adult life, even though she's not. She's a robot, as we've pointed out, and but she's trying to like live life fun and like blow off work. I just relate to B a lot. I like her.
I like that answer. Maybe this is a good spot to hash out the plot. There's a lot. This is a great background noise show, and there's a lot of it where they like introduce little elements of the plot, and then like I never really pieced it all together because it's like it's very, very sparse.
You can kind of piece it together at the end, right? A little, no?
At the end, very much so. But so episode 1, the scene right before the credits where it shows a flashback of Puppycat, I think having in the past done a temp job babysitting B, and it shows her dad before we know it's her dad.
You're piecing this together for me because at the end, the whole time, Violet, spoilers, is like, we got to go find your no good dad. So
and Violet is Cardamon's mom. Yes. And
I don't know, Jens, but they all seem to be together. They also, we're getting into it. Spoilers. We got to start at the end, and we're going to like piece things together backwards.
Yeah.
So at the end, Cardamon's mom finally wakes up, and she's a princess? Question mark.
She's
Pretty
the
sure
space princess.
she's the space prince. You're right. Yes, from the
From the
story.
Yeah.
Bro, I just finished it like an hour or two ago. Oh my god. Oh,
And
that's
this is why I
good.
need a season 2. Like, I need to
Yes.
see the
Oh,
rest
that
play
is
out
good. Okay, so the story that Puppycat tells about
in
how
episode 1.
he was a space outlaw, space prince, got turned
He was
into
an outlaw.
Puppycat. He was a
Yes.
prince.
No, because I think that's him being with the space princess is probably what got him turned into the monster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
so, and you're right. You're right. Okay. So, so then, but they, so the island they arrive on, they essentially, or the island they live on, excuse me, they take off on. And so, it turns out, Cardamon's mom, Violet, was in a comatose state on purpose, a la like Travelers,
Like
or
a
no, what's that movie?
sleep.
Yeah, like a cryo sleep. I was thinking with like Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, whatever that movie is.
Passengers.
Passengers. I said Travelers. Yeah,
What's
Passengers.
The, don't look up. Towards
I
the
have
end.
not seen it yet. Yeah.
No.
Is it like
Okay.
that? Oh,
I mean,
Oh.
that's like a punchline at the end.
gotcha. Okay.
I don't know.
So, they were, Cardamon woke up on accident. Oh, just, I feel for Cardamon. Like, you could feel the stress building on Cardamon as the whole thing goes on, to the point where he's making a wish on that falling star. He's like, I wish not to be a landlord anymore. And so it's so good. And like Sticky's just licking his cheek.
Yeah.
Like, so, they were supposed to be cryo sleeped on the island. B is like their robot android.
Daughter?
Not servant, right?
Friend?
Like, I don't know. Friend. We'll go with friend.
Yeah.
And Puppycat, looked like was the driver of the ship, honestly.
Well, really, B is Cardamon's temp.
Yeah, first and foremost. Yeah, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the relationship you first see.
Correct. No. But I'm saying let's go with what we know at the end, and we can work backwards and kind of piece some things together. But yes, initially Cardamon and B are tenant and landlord, and so, but then we find out at the end. What's funny is Puppycat knew what was going on the whole time, and was just like really avoiding responsibility, and like was just like, you know what I mean? So like, Puppycat knew we were stuck here, like knew probably how to fix the problem, but was like, yeah, we could just hang out here for a while. Why not? We got Mayor Pretty Patrick and lots of food.
So there's Puppycat, B, Cardamon, Space Princess, and then her
Violet.
dad is sort of the mystery figure.
We don't know who the dad is.
So if
but-
we go from the end to the mid-season,
Yeah.
there's like a flashback episode that shows the Space Outlaw and Violet growing up together. B's dad is on that ship too. He's their child prodigy scientist engineer of the ship. He like builds lasers and weapons. Do you remember this episode?
I remember the episode, but I guess I just didn't. You can watch it unrelated and just be like, "Oh wow, yeah, that was interesting," and know that it was about Puppycat. But you're adding all these layers that I hadn't thought about when I watched it. You know what I mean? I needed to go through and do a second rewatch like you did, my man. I thought it would be better coming off it fresh. So I finished like the last 4 episodes this morning. That was a mistake, I guess. Okay. So wow. Yeah, I don't remember what that episode was called, but I can remember the scene you're talking about. So that's implied that's her dad then.
Yes. I
Okay.
think that is her dad.
Okay. Heavily implied.
Yes.
Not outright said though.
And then there's Puppycat's lullaby in the first episode, as well as the little tag at the end. So I guess I don't understand where creating an android girl comes in. Like I guess I don't need to think about it all too much.
Yeah.
But
When you're in space, do as the space outlaws do. Make C3PO.
so this is where I not struggle, but it's like I want to know so much more about that backstory and that lore.
That's what's great about the show. And you know what? I know
yeah.
so many people who feel similar. The show almost left us with more questions than answers. You know what I mean? It propped up like 10 questions maybe to start, But then by the
Uh-huh.
time we finished, it answered 5, and now we have 20. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, what the hell?
I mean, it is cool. So, like, towards the end of the last episode, B gets like rebooted.
Yeah.
She has like 5 soul avatars that escape her.
She had these different, they were different colored,
Different,
very
personality
Sailor Moon.
avatars.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
you know, a Raven in Teen Titans has whatever
I see
different
where you're
color
going.
caves.
Yeah, it's
I don't
all
know if
her
they're supposed to be
emotions
different. It could be the emotions.
projecting out of her. I don't know. Yeah, because she is an android with emotions. Oh, I'm staking it. Those are like her emotions. In like, how weird was it?
And is
Okay,
that
so
what- is that
Crispin
what
at the
defeats
end.
Mooly,
Would you?
like
Oh,
Monster Mooly. You know, at the end, so it's Mooly's been taken over by whatever the warlocks.
Black Hands.
Yeah, and then her emotions, right, come out
Yeah.
of her torn open body and into Mooly,
Yeah,
and that's how Mooly gets released, right?
I think so.
They are emotion.
I think it's
that's
her
cool.
emotions. So,
I like that read.
so because she's very emotional for a robot, right? So she's got to have something up there. But literally, Crispin, her ex-boyfriend, like hit on one of the like colored forms of her just for like a split second. But at the end, he's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" Like, I was like, "What are you doing, Crispin? The world is like at an end here. Chill." The island's like flying. The island literally did like a 360, like, and spun a bunch of people off. And then
Yeah.
his first thought was like, "Who's this babe?"
I do like that Violet makes like a PSA. She's like, if you'd like to stay on the planet Earth, then jump into the water now. Otherwise,
wanna come
hang
with.
on.
Someone was tied down. I didn't even think about this. Who was tied down at the end? And who's going on the ride? It was one of the wizard family.
I know.
Ooh, we got a mystery.
We got a mystery.
One of the wizard family was tied in the closet, but I think the rest of them jumped off.
It wasn't Decker. Whatever,
It was
we can
not
figure it
Deckard.
out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the show essentially.
Yeah, we can wrap it up here because it is hard. Like, we can't go beat by beat. We can't give you everything here. It'd be nonsensical at times. It's really funny. It's really lighthearted. It's a really just all around great show. I'm really glad that it finally got. I'm glad it got its flowers and it made it on Netflix. Like, it really deserved to be in a larger spotlight.
Yeah. For us who watched the web series, or at least the web pilot when it first came out, I don't know. It's been a long time coming. It's so cool to see
Yeah.
this internet sort of subculture, not subculture, but like the little engine that could make its
it's
way
inspiring.
from a YouTube
Yeah.
pilot to a fucking Netflix series. I really hope they make another season. I haven't really done any looking to see if there's anything about a season 2. Maybe I should do a quick Google.
So while you're doing that, I think what's great about it is it's so inspiring. Like, if you have an idea, if you have some sort of project, like, just put it out there. You never know. You don't know where it'll go, but if you feel strongly and passionately about it, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
That's what my big takeaway from this. It's great.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything conclusive at a quick Google.
I can't leave without saying it, but one of the fucking warlocks, randomly, tiniest role in the world, is Stephen Root from Barry, who's in Dodgeball. We could play Dodgeball. Like, iconic actor. And this guy has the tiniest part in this show. It's so weird.
Just a random, like, oh, my finger.
Yeah, a few times. And you're like, is that the guy? Is that him? And you're like, it is him.
Well, so one of the brothers is voiced by Freddie Wong, who's like a huge YouTuber. YouTube's Rocket
I think
Jump.
Tim is the one that was tied down and was left on there. Final thoughts? Wrap it up for us. I just gave my final thoughts. Fucking 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10. Go watch this show. Similar to how Over the Garden Wall is like a great fall Halloween watch, this is a great cozy vibes. Doesn't have to be any specific time of year. It's
They
just
go
like
through
the chillest fucking
seasons.
show in the
Yeah.
world, and it's awesome. You might fall asleep because it's just so nice and warm and comfortable, and for being super funny and like not super plot oriented. I don't know. You get emotionally invested in these characters and the relationships that are happening.
They got dreams.
And if you love this, you can also go back and watch the original web series. I think it's all out on YouTube. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Go watch it. I think my unofficial theme for this month is like cozy.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah. I like
November's
that.
the cozy month. All right,
Well,
not gonna do
it
it
is.
for it,
No.
but let's do some news.
Yeah.
Two dudes read some news. I don't have much except for this one that I sent you.
Yeah, I
which
know
is,
exactly where you're going with it.
The Russo brothers are making a live-action Hercules for Disney. They recently said in an interview that it will be a modern musical inspired by TikTok.
What does that mean? What do you think that means? If you had to take your best guess, what does that mean?
I don't know. Fucking
I have
Meg
no
does the
idea.
nay-nay. I don't know. Like,
Is it going to be like Uber Gen Z? Like, is it going to be like to the point where it's almost like a satire of TikTok? That's what I can't understand. Like,
yeah.
because, okay, I mean, when I think of TikTok, I think of lip syncing, I think of dancing, I think of short form videos. None of that translates to a live action Hercules.
Yeah.
Maybe the dance and song numbers is what they're
Maybe
referring
he's
to.
saying the music will be shorter. I don't know, but then that doesn't relate. Like, I don't know.
I was okay. So now that we're on this, have you seen the Steve Lacy thing on TikTok? I wish I knew.
I mean,
wish.
yeah,
So
I know the song.
he had the concert, and no one could sing his song after that part, and he got like really mad at the audience, and it got me really thinking. That's so weird of a time of music that we're in. Like that never would have happened in the past. And then Meghan Trainor has just released this new song, and it has a TikTok dance, and I go, this is the era we're in now. Is they're just marketing the 30 seconds with a TikTok dance, and that will get the song to #1 alone.
Yeah. So I think it was maybe the CEO of Spotify did an interview recently or something where he said, like, if you look at song structure, a lot of newer music is moving the chorus earlier and earlier up into the song so it can hook people. So it can hook
people. And they recognize it.
Shuffle or whatever. So is that a good or bad thing that Spotify or streaming is changing how we consume or how people make music? Probably not, but
I don't know. Probably not. I've always said, and I've felt very strongly about this, like a song that's under 3 minutes, they didn't put enough work into it. And I have a feeling this is shifting to the songs that are all going to be, around 2 minutes or so.
I mean, what does that look like for Hercules?
I don't know.
I can go the distance. New scene, like.
I cannot wrap my head around what that actually means. And so to me, I've started to think, like, is that just like a thing he's saying to get people's attention? Like, I just can't think of what that means. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that wasn't like what sold the pitch or like. They're losing a bit of steam for me. The Russo brothers after the Gray Man, especially that. I mean,
I'll be honest, I didn't see the Gray Man.
It was fine.
I heard good things though.
It was okay.
No, it was
fine.
Okay,
but
worth a watch.
Yeah, watch it. It's a fun little action movie, but it's like
you're not selling me.
You're supposed to. It's the Russo brothers.
Yeah, what?
The Avengers Endgame guys. And it's like, and then seeing this little interview clip, it's like, you're losing me, bro.
I just that is such a weird thing.
I appreciate what you did.
So
Captain America, but
all right, I got new Star Wars show has Yaddle, famously seen in the past, never been a part of the plot. We hear Yaddle, and it turns out Yoda's just been speaking weird on his own. It's not how his people speak. That's my
Yoda's
news.
Just a little freak.
Yoda's just a weirdo talking in riddles for no reason. Absolutely mind blown by that.
Yeah. Have you watched any of Tales of the Jedi? I
have not, but I've heard great things. So I'm going to, when I get a moment, to watch something on my own here.
We should probably do an episode on it. I've only seen Haven't even finished it.
I love
Episode
Ahsoka. I love Count Dooku weirdly too, actually. So I mean,
1.
it's everything I'm looking for. I'm actually shocked. Haven't been spoiled. Haven't watched it yet. I'll be honest. I've had a ton on my plate and self-imposed because I'm rewatching an anime that I just has too
What are
many
you
episodes.
What are you
I'm
watching?
rewatching Hunter x Hunter. I don't know. You ever watched
Okay.
it?
No.
It's really
I
good.
don't watch a whole lot of anime.
I know you don't. It's so sad. It makes me sad. You should give
Yeah.
this one a try. Hunter x Hunter's really good. It's on Netflix.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. I've been keeping up with I think that's part of the reason is getting into any anime is so daunting because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, there's 900 episodes.
You gotta
catch
gotta
up
put on some blinders and just know that the plot will
can't
carry
do
you.
this.
So shout out to my friend Tommy. He's watching Naruto for the first time from Star
Wow.
Wars, and I told him I was like, 1, skip filler. 2, I was like, just go. And there will be times, not to call him out, where he will in like a weekend finish like a huge chunk of episodes. He's like, I don't even know how I did that. I'm like, yeah, it hooks you. It hooks you.
I've been watching Chainsaw Man, which is like a new anime. Weekly
good?
releases on Hulu. It's a guy who a devil hunter whose head turned into a chainsaw. Got a cute little animal friend in
Yeah, I've
first
seen that
episode.
animal everywhere with the little chainsaw dog thing.
Pochita or something.
Pochito is a
So
nice name.
I started episode 1 of Tales of the Jedi, and I'm just like a very, very casual Star Wars fan. Don't really care to know any more about the lore than I do. So like Ahsoka's parents.
Ahsoka.
It's like, the episode 1 is about like her being raised or something. Animation looks great, and then there's this like sequence where her mother is out hunting, and then there's this like, I don't know, space tiger or something, and it just looks like it's out of a PS2 game. Like it was so off-putting that I paused and switched. Like I just started watching something else. I was like,
Michael O'Rear is going to cry when he hears you say that. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna make it past the space tiger.
Sure,
You're
yeah.
getting like you're getting fucking Tiger King flashbacks. You're like, whoa.
no, it's just like it was at that moment where I was like, okay, we're not covering it or we have no
You're like, I
plans to
don't
at the moment. It's
need
like
to
I
do
don't
this.
need to watch this. So
No, I need
run
to
chainsaws.
relax. Like I said, if I wasn't doing Hunter x Hunter, I would have a lot more free time, but it just takes up every moment of free time. It's addicting. Yeah, I think that's all I got news-wise. What about you? You got anything else here?
I don't know. Being Puppycat
this
is
is-
fucking great.
This is more a PSA than anything. You need to go watch this fucking amazing TV show. And like I said, you don't need to pay a ton of attention. I've never said this before. Like, I'm not promoting it. But you don't need to pay a ton of attention. Just put it on, enjoy it, watch it when you can, and you will love it. I promise.
It's as relaxing as the lo-fi beats hip hop girl on YouTube
Yeah, if you
channel.
do that to relax, put this on. 100% sleepy time show. All right, I'm gonna wrap us up here. If you want more episodes, we have a large back catalog of things that you will enjoy on Apple, Spotify, and we are also on YouTube now. You can follow us on social media, both Instagram and TikTok at 2dudeswatchcartoons, and on Twitter at 2dudeswatch. And of course, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a rate and review. We definitely appreciate it. Helps people find us. And, as always, thank you for joining us. Hope you had a good time. And I hope this was like relaxing and calming, like the vibes of being Puppycat. We hope we bring some peace and tranquility to you through your earbuds.
That'll do it for this episode of 2 Dudes Watch Cartoons. We'll catch you next time.
2 dudes watch cartoons. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Nice.
Two
I was like, again?